Hey everybody, it's me and I'm finally back even though I haven't been posting for a very long time. I think the last video I posted was actually back in February. But today I wanted to discuss something that I'm sure a lot of friends back home are a little bit confused by, and that is the fact that I actually recently got a dog. So there are several questions a lot of people are probably going to be also wondering on top of why did I get a dog. And a couple of them would be, are you allowed to have a pet that is a dog? What happened to your hedgehog? And are you bringing him back to Canada? Stuff like that. So to address the first question, I am allowed to have pets where I am. When I moved, I actually moved to a lot bigger place. I think almost double, if not almost triple the size of my old place. With a larger space, I did feel a lot more comfortable getting a new member to my household essentially. Well, number two, what happened to my hedgehog? I still have my hedgehog. They don't interact with each other. They are in two complete different spaces. I am technically still looking to rehome her ideally because I know I'm not going to be able to give her the proper care and attention that she may require. Though at the same time, I'm trying to divide my attention onto her when I'm able to. If she doesn't get adopted out, I have made the final decision that if she doesn't get adopted, I will be staying here until she unfortunately passes away. Because as her current owner, I have made that obligation to her to take care of her until, well, the end of her days. And I hope that she does live for a very long time. She's approximately 3 to 4 years old. As terms of how long she's going to live, it would be ideal if she lives the full 6 years, but it would be also very understandable if she does pass away. Not necessarily this year, but next year or the year after that, because that would be within the time frame that their life expectancy is. But let's not get too morbid and hope that my hedgehog dies, shall we? The final question, yes, I will be bringing home my dog to Canada when I inevitably move back. It's a lot easier process. I did do proper research as to what I would need and require in order to bring him back, and it is significantly easier than bringing a hedgehog over because dogs and cats are a little bit more commonly transferred overseas. So I'll do a quick introduction of my puppy because he is a little bit bitey right now because he wants to just play and stuff like that. We did go on a hike, so he was a little bit sleepy earlier, but now he woke up from his nap, so now he just wants to play. Let me do a formal introduction to my newest member of my family, and that is my fur son. Sorry if you cringe at that. Coffee. He's still a puppy. He's approximately 4 months old now. He is almost 5 months, and he's still very bitey. Yeah, because he wants to play and he's teething. But he's a very good boy despite him wanting all the attention and wanting to just chew things up. He's a teacup Pomeranian, so he's going to stay fairly small, which is ideal for me, especially in my living situation. Breed of dog is actually something that I've been wanting to have since I was in elementary school. The reason why he doesn't necessarily look like a true Pomeranian currently, or a regular normal Pomeranian with all the fluff and fur, is because I did get him a haircut recently. He is growing it back very slowly, but I got a cut in preparation for summer. He is super cute, lovable, and wants to bite my fingers off all the time, which we're working on, right, Cubby? He doesn't like being held up for a very long time either. I'm just showing a very negative aspect to my dog, who just loves to chew my fingers. But I love him anyways, and we're gonna work on the chewing. I do have a lot of toys for him in his place. He just doesn't like being coddled for a very long time. He's not a lap dog, much to my despair, but again, he's still a puppy, so he's still learning as to what he cannot chew, and he still thinks that my fingers are good to chew on. But he's very smart. He's picking up a lot of things very quickly. I have a cage space for him right over here. I'm hoping to expand it a little bit wider for him to explore the room because I do want him to not be in a caged area for his entire life. I do want him to eventually be able to roam around the room without him being everywhere, but we're doing it at a very slow pace just to make sure that he's very accommodating to the room. But anyway, it is Coffee. Coffee. Hi. He's just gonna be right there in the background while I'm finishing up the vlog. If you hear him, I apologize. Again, he's a puppy. So aside from wanting a Pomeranian for the longest time, something that I've been dealing with since I lived in Canada and have been very uncomfortable bringing it up, but every so often I do bring it up with trusted friends, is that I have a very unhealthy relationship with the amount of sleep that I do. To be more specific, I'm the type of person who will sleep for extremely long periods of time, and I will always feel the constant need for more and more sleep. And one can argue that it is probably due to the fact that I'm sleeping so much that it actually does make your body more tired. But nonetheless, my sleeping pattern was very unhealthy. And again, it's something that I've been dealing with since I was back in Canada. And I don't want to use it very lightly because I know I'm not properly diagnosed with a therapist. But I do experience some traveler's anxiety. And some other feelings of insecurity, loneliness, and the list can go on. In order to help work on my issues, I made the very difficult decision to actually get a dog. I mainly got him for physical and some mental health issues that I've been dealing with ever since for a very long time, I guess. A lot of people may be thinking that it's not necessarily a big deal, but you have to realize that a lot of the times when I was doing my sleep patterns, it would be very easy for me to have a regular work day, and as soon as I get home, I would just go to sleep. I wouldn't really feel like eating or anything. After I take my nap, which would be maybe an additional 4 to 5 hours, I would have no problem going back to sleep for my regular 8 hours possibly. And essentially I would just do that constant cycle of oversleeping, and it was just really unhealthy, and it's something that I identified, something that I wanted to work on. He does help me with a lot of things, like getting up in the morning. I walk him as soon as I'm done getting ready for work, and then I walk him again when I come back from work. And he generally allows me to explore my city a lot more. I am the type to be very set in my ways and to kind of just hermit into my house. Because he needs to socialize, because he needs fresh air, because he needs to exercise, I have to force myself to go into very uncomfortable situations where I have to actually go outside. While I really, in particularly, do not like going outside, he makes me be more active, which is something I've been trying to work on for many years, and I'm doing baby steps. So far, his progress has been really good. He's been picking up a couple of tricks. I do have an Instagram for him, which I will link down below. I am ideally going to train him to become a therapy dog, mostly because I think that he has the right personality for it. While he is still a puppy and easily excitable, I do see signs that he works very well with people. He really, really loves people. He's not afraid of men. He is always welcoming to everybody. He always wants to greet everybody, so I really love that personality of his, which makes me a little bit more comfortable when prepping him to become a therapy dog in the future. I'm becoming very rambly and stuff like that, but yeah, this is basically the reason why I haven't been posting much content lately. I've been focusing a lot of my energy into taking care of him, though at the same time he is doing me a world of good by actually being there, and me being present with him has allowed me to just generally be a little bit more physically healthy. Thanks to all my friends for trying to understand where I'm coming from, and my family members for being very accepting that I got a dog. I completely understand if you don't particularly agree with me in terms of why I got a dog, and you do question my personal morals and time. I still appreciate that if you decide to watch the entire video, that you decided to at least give me a chance to discuss why I got him. And at the end of the day, he was my decision to make in terms of owning him as much as Uyu was my hedgehog, and I will care for him as much as possible. And he is not necessarily just my pet, he is also essentially my child. So hopefully a lot of positive things will go out in the future and not so many negative things. But until then, thanks for watching my video, and I will try to update more frequently on some sort of social media network. But until then, bye.